Ableton Live is one of the best tools for producing electronic music. Fast, creative and fun. Today we'll dive into audio tracks, how to record, import, trim, fade and edit audio like a pro. I'm Thomas Foster and I'll guide you through every step in Ableton Live 12. The full playlist with all videos from this series is linked in the description. Good to have you here. Let's go.
Welcome to Thomas Foster Music Production.
Before we dive in, artificial intelligence has radically changed my workflow as a music producer in the past few months. I use AI to assist with composing, songwriting, arranging, sound design, vocal generation, choir creation, mixing and mastering. If you want to stay ahead as a music producer in the coming years, you can't ignore this trend. My book, Artificial Intelligence in Music and Audio Production, Shaping the Sound of Tomorrow, gives you a clear and compact overview of all the AI tools that can take your production to the next level. My name is Thomas Foster. Thank you for watching. Always stay creative and get the book now on Amazon and everywhere books are sold. In Ableton Live, we have MIDI tracks and audio tracks. On MIDI tracks, we can record notes with a keyboard, for example, and on audio tracks, we can record audio from a microphone, from a guitar or whatever. If you want to record something, you have to connect a microphone or your guitar or whatever to your audio interface. If we go here to Preferences, we have here audio and you see here I have connected the Universal Audio Thunderbolt audio interface. And on the input 5 of my audio interface, I have a microphone connected. So you see here on input 5 and 6, my voice. So let's choose the input 5. And now we change from the session view to the arrangement view. And I click here because I want to record here from bar 5. On my audio track where I choose the input 5, I click record and now we click here record. And now we can record something with the microphone directly to my audio track. When I'm done, I can click stop or I click again the record button here. So we continue playing, but we stop recording. Okay, let's zoom in. For this, I click with the mouse in the dark gray area and move down to zoom in here. Something with the microphone directly to my audio track. Okay, here we have the track. So we can select the track and duplicate this for something, for example. Track. So we can edit here our recording. Another way to bring audio in your Ableton project is from a library. There are lots of libraries that you can buy for money. And in these libraries, you find loops and samples that help you with your production. There are also great web pages where you can download nice samples and loops. There is one web page where everything is free and you can use it for your production. The name of this web page is MUGENT, M-U-G-E-N-T. It's coming from Musically Intelligent, a project I'm involved in developing. Here on MUGENT, you can use text searches and you can use, for example, the groups to search for an instrument group. For example, if you go to drums, you'll find a lot of kicks, snares, clappings and more. But we go to beat now. So you find here great beats. And listen to them, they sound amazing, like in the actually chart tracks or in the clubs. You can search for genre. So for example, now we choose beat. Now you say, I just want to listen to a hip hop beat. You find everything on MUGENT, and with a single click you can download it into your download folder and use it in the project. And yes, you have all the rights. This is totally legal because MUGENT recorded everything by their own, and you can use everything in your project and upload them to Spotify and iTunes. There is another interesting menu here called the family, also called the colors. And if we click on family, we see a lot of colors. And every color comes with a tempo and with a key. For example, pink is 118 beats per minute in G minor. And they all have the same chord progression, so you can mix them and they fit perfectly together. So now I choose pink, so I know now everything is 180 BPM G minor. And now I say I want to have in pink a beat. So let's listen to the first one here. That's a top loop. Maybe we go down a little bit and listen to this one here. I like that one. I like that one very much. So let's say free download to bring it in our download folder. Let's continue because we want to make a complete arrangement. So we need a bass. Maybe we choose the pink house bass here, free download. We need some key instruments. So why don't we go to keys? And now we don't need a cinematic piano, but maybe this pink plug. Yes, that's nice. Let's take this. Let's take the pink club piano, the orange Wurlitzer, and also the pink synth. Now it's asking us to share it on Facebook as a little thank you to MUGENT. I already did that. You should do that. And also the pink synth we need. And maybe, what about some brass instruments like saxophone, trumpet? Maybe we take this one here. All right, free download. That's wonderful. So now all the samples are in our download folder. I already organized them here in my folder, Pink MUGENT. And the first thing we want to do, we want to bring the tempo of our song to the right tempo. At the moment we have 120 BPM, but all our samples are in 180 BPM. That's the information you find in every audio file. You find the tempo and the key. So let's go here to 118 BPM. And now we start with the drums on the first track. Let's listen to this. We zoom in a little bit and we call this track here drums. To do this, right click on it and go to rename or say Command R or Control R. Drums. It's also very good to use colors. I make always the drums green, so in every project I immediately see where the drums are because they are green. You can choose your own colors, but it's really good to have your own system that you always use, so you always can be sure to understand where the drums are and where's the bass. And we continue now with the bass. And we listen to this now. And now we see a problem. I want you to look here. Let's make the master track a little bit bigger. What is the master track? Here you have all your separate tracks and they all together are running through the master track. And if you have too much volume, you see that it's getting red here. Let's listen and look to this. It's red and that means distortion. You don't want that. No distortion. So what can we do? We can bring down the volume. The volume of a track is here. So we can go at the drums to -4 and also at the bass -4. I click Command R or Control R to call this bass, and I like the color brown for the bass. And now it's green here, that's good. There's another trick to be sure that you don't have distortion on your track. You go to the browser, you can open the browser here with this little arrow here. You choose your audio effects. Here you choose the dynamics. Dynamics is everything that controls the volume. And here's the limiter, and now we click on the limiter and move it to our master track. And now whenever you have more volume than 0 dB, the limiter takes care that the volume goes down and that you don't have more than 0 dB, and that means no distortion. Let's check this out. I bring down the volume of the speaker a little bit so it's not too loud for you. And now I push the volume extreme. Normally we would have distortion now. Instead of the distortion, we see here in yellow the gain reduction. Yeah. Please take care that you don't have too much gain reduction. So if there's too much yellow, something like this or more, then please reduce your volume of your audio tracks. I go here now back to -4. That's good for now. And we have the limiter in our master track. In later tutorials, we talk a little bit more about the dynamics and about the mastering on your master track. Let's go back here with our master volume to 0 dB. And now we can continue working. The next thing we want to have is the Wurlitzer. Let's bring it on the next track. If you don't have another track, maybe it's like this, there are more possibilities. One is if you bring the audio file in the empty space here, it automatically creates a new audio track. You also can use the key command Control-T or Command-T to create new audio tracks, or you can do this here with the Create menu, Insert Audio Track. Okay, let's bring in our Wurlitzer, that's the electro piano. Sorry, let's do this again. Wurlitzer here on the next track. Let's listen to it. It's much too loud. Always take care that the bass and the drums are loud and the rest is not too loud. The vocals are important, drum and bass is important, and with the rest, be careful not to make it too loud. So what I would do, I would bring down the volume to -0, so we don't hear it. And now I would go in slowly until I feel that it's loud enough. -12, that's wonderful. You also can double click it and type in -12. That's good. Now let's choose another color. My keyboards are always blue. Here let's say keys and make also this blue by right clicking it or control clicking it. Wonderful. So now we have 3 instruments, and the Wurlitzer is not 8 bars, it's 16 bars. So how can we make the drums and the bass longer? Number 1, let's hold down the Option key or the Alt key and click on the top of this clip. If you click here, you can select something. If you click on the top, you can move it. If you click it with the Option or with the Alt key, you can copy it. So we could copy it here exactly to the next 8 bars. We could select both clips to duplicate it, or we can loop them. To loop them, simply double click them, click here on Warp and Loop. Take care that the tempo is 118 BPM, and now we can loop them. The warp feature is very important for something else. Let me copy this drum clip over here and give away the warp feature. Okay. Now if we turn on the metronome, we'll hear that the beat is perfect in time with the metronome. But if I change the tempo of my song now, let's make it slower. We see it's not working. The same if I make a faster tempo. It's not working. So let's go back to 118. And now let's turn on the warp mode and take care that the tempo here is the tempo of your beat. In this case, 118 BPM. And now if I change the tempo now, let's make it slower. The beat is always following our tempo. But we go back to 118 and talk a little bit more about warp and time warping and all this stuff in a later tutorial. Now we go back here and listen to what we've done. We turn on the warp mode and the loop mode for drum and bass. And now we can select both. Click here in the right corner where we get this special mouse icon to loop it. Also the bass, let's loop it. Let's turn off the metronome, we don't need it anymore. We also close the browser to have a little bit more space here. And now we add some more instruments. What's about the synth? Is too loud, let's go down. Maybe like this. I call it synth with Command or Control R, and I make it blue by right clicking or control clicking the track. Also here we make it blue. That's wonderful. On the next track we have the club piano. Also too loud. -16 sounds cool for me. Let's make it exactly 8 bars and duplicate it. That's wonderful. Also here I choose the color blue and say piano. And the next track is orange. I always use orange for the lead instruments. And we have here this plucked, pink plucked. Let's listen to this. A little bit too loud. I like this melody, but it's a little bit too cheesy, too 80s. So why don't we reduce it? So for this, let's take out the second phrase by clicking not on the top. We have to click on the bottom or in the middle somewhere and select exactly the second phrase. With the backspace key, we delete it. Also, this phrase here with the backspace key, we delete it. Maybe we also erase the last note to make the phrase a little bit shorter. I go to the right corner and let's end it here. Now we have a little problem because there's a reverb here and it's cutting the reverb. I used now the solo feature. You click on the S and now all other tracks are muted. You listen solo to this track. You can go back by clicking again on the S. Okay. What can we do that we don't hear this cutting of the reverb here? The first thing we can do, we can click here where this little dot is to make a fade. You also could make a fade by selecting the end and use Option Command F or Alt Control F to make a fade like this. Let's go back with undo, Command Z. Or we can simply use this little dot here, click on the dot and move it to here. Let's make a bigger fade for understanding what the fade is doing. Or also Here you could make a fade in. You can make a curve for this fade. Yeah. Again, we want to have a fade out, just like this. Okay, here we have to erase the last note. Let's do this, zack. And we make, in Austria we say zack. And we make a fade. But still it's not so nice. It's now a fast fade out, but still it's too fast for me. So what can we do? We use an audio effect to make this a little bit longer. So we double click here to see this track here. And now we go to audio effects. Let's close the dynamics and use the time and space. And here we find the delay. And we move it to the track or here to this frame. And let's listen. Yeah, it's like an echo, right? It's too loud. So with the dry, wet, we can make the volume of the effect of the delay a little bit less. So we go down to 30. Much better. We have now 3/16. Let's go to 4/16. What is a quarter? I like the ping pong. Means left, right, left, right. And we can bring down a little bit the filter here. I like it. Let's listen with the music. I click on S to deselect the solo function. Okay, let's add a last track. Command or Control T. We add the sax thing here. I like the first phrase, but now we have two melodies at the same time. That's not cool. Why don't we use this first phrase over here? Sorry, over here. Ah. Maybe too much volume. Okay. Wonderful. And now I want to show you in a very fast way how to make a little song structure. Let's use the key command Command A or Control A to select everything. Move it somewhere here. Okay, let's start with the drums. After 8 bars, I want to add the bass. And after 8 bars more, we add the pink synth. Here we create a little break to bring in the melody. Please write me in the comments if this video was helpful for you. And subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any further tutorials for Ableton Live 11. At the end of this video, you should find a playlist with all my tutorials for Ableton Live 11, so you should be able to continue this tutorial in the right order. My name is Thomas Foster. Thank you for watching. Always stay creative. Cheers!